up? It's Melody, and today I wanted to talk about why I do product reviews. It's not a question that I get a lot, but it's still something that I wanted to talk about because I think it's important to address. If you're new here, I talk about minimalism, organization, health, anything along those lines. So definitely give Pat and I a subscribe. Pat's literally in every one of my videos because she's like a puppy in a way. In fact, my number one tip is if you're gonna get a cat, the older cats are the best to adopt because they're the most mellow. So Pat is a very elderly cat. So she is very mellow. She was not like that in her younger years. That is even a greater reason to adopt an older cat because they will love you so much and they are so mellow and calm most of the time and very affectionate, unlike really spunky little cats. And the little spunky ones will always get adopted anyway. I can only speak for me. Other minimalists, of course, they talk about zero shoes and other things like that that they really love, just like me. They talk about the things that they like. I think that when you look at the overarching theme of everybody's work on minimalism, they are presenting what they have always wanted to find themselves. So it is a little piece into their own personality. Of course, we all do, hopefully, the trending topics and the bright, colorful cover pictures on our videos. But when you look at the body of most of our work, it's who we really are deep down. And who I am deep down is I have always loved Amazon reviews. When I was a little girl, I would be on Makeup Alley and going to the eco-friendly section and the skincare section, and I would just leave these long reviews. I mean, it was a hobby of mine. I loved reading reviews. I loved adding to them. I felt like they were making the world a better place. When you have product reviews or recipe reviews, then people can make more accurate decisions. So that's why I could sit there as a 16-year-old girl and write essays on one skincare product, because I was trying to list all the ingredients. I was trying to list what kind of skin I have so that they could make the most accurate decision. Now, obviously, I was taking it a little bit too far, but just think about how reviews have changed our life. My grandma, if she wanted a good recipe and her mother was not a good cook, she would have to depend on befriending someone in the community that had a good, solid recipe kit. And if you can't eat certain ingredients like dairy, for instance me, then you're pretty much up the creek because there's not going to be substitutions. Everybody ate the same way pretty much. And so you just had to get lucky if you were in my grandma's generation. When my mom came along, then they had more recipe books and things like that was more prominent. It was easier for her to find good recipes and nail it closer, but still that's a tedious task to go through all of these recipe books. In our generation now, we can just hop online, find a recipe for almost anything, and perfect it within 1 or 2 shots. I mean, that is incredible. For someone like me who's an INTJ, efficiency just blows my mind. So the fact that you can do that it greatly adds to your life because, in my opinion, you can get on to the things in life that really matter instead of getting bogged down with the mundane things. So yes, I talk about the day-to-day things, but that's so that I can streamline it as efficiently as possible so we can get to the good part of living. Surely the best part of living for most people is not picking out curtains or vacuum cleaners, but it's a part that we all have to go through. Most of the time when we're selecting clothes or ingredients, we go to the store and whatever catches our eye is what we end up with. It's either brand loyalty because we watched our parents use that brand over and over, or it's usually eye level things. When we're going to grocery stores, eye level, that is valuable territory that companies actually pay for because that's what we're gonna pick first. And for me, I want to buy things based on their merit, not just because I noticed them or my parents were using them all their life. I want to buy something because it is the best that I can find. And so that's just my personality. And for almost every household thing, I have found something that I can highly recommend. Almost, not quite, but almost everything. So that is the essence of minimalism, where it converges with product reviews, is that my product reviews are going to be lifetime products, things I plan to keep for a decade. It's not going to be constant adding of things that just don't add any value to life whatsoever. It's going to be with an eye on minimalism and an eye on quality. When we donate things because things don't work out, most of the things that we donate don't ever get bought. Most of those end up in the landfill. The fact that when we buy something and it doesn't work out, for instance, for me, it was curtain rings, and we donate that really bad product, most of the time, if it's a bad product, it's not going to get good use. So someone might get it, but it's probably not going to serve them in the same way that it didn't serve you very well. And most of the time, it's just not going to get bought whatsoever. So it ends up in the landfill. And then on top of it, now we don't have curtain rings. So we actually have to go out and go through the whole process of reading reviews all over again, going to stores all over again. So it's tedious. It's wasteful in not just resources and wasteful for the planet, but it's wasteful to our time when we end up with products that just don't serve a good function. Last thing I just wanted to say is that minimalism is often confused with being frugal or often confused with no spending at all, but spending is a part of life. Quality is usually a focus of minimalism, so sometimes, not always, but sometimes it costs a little bit more. But spending is a part of life. So minimalism is not about no spend. It's about intentional spending. Getting back to my original point in that every channel is a reflection of who somebody is, the person who's making the content. I really care about quality, efficiency, aesthetic, and also price. Those are the considerations, and these are the things that you will have to consider when I talk about different things. But I will not stop talking about the things that I absolutely love, because those are things that I stand by and I give them as gifts and I tell people about in stores when I'm in stores all of the time. I'll be in Bed Bath & Beyond and I will literally be talking about the Simple Human soap dispensers to somebody, because it actually is something I really believe in. It's actually something that I think can improve everybody's life, or the majority of people's life. So that's why I talk about it. I don't just talk about it to find random things to talk about. I hope that you like this little midweek video. I hope you'll give our channel a subscribe, because we'll be talking about the best of the best Amazon products. We'll be talking about minimalism philosophies, organization tips, all of that. So I hope that I'll see you next Sunday.